and today. Your station, your music, 24 hours a day. Best of yesterday and today. This is your station, Wrightington Hospital Radio.
If you would like to contact the station for any reason, feel free to use the phone line on 01257 252 435. Alternatively, you can use the internal number 6361 with the permission of the staff. Or finally, you can text us on 079 091 97345.
Lanky Beat, putting the English Red Rose County of Lancashire on the world's rock and roll map. Yeah, Lanky Cats, rock and roll forever. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second of our shows. It's great to have you again on board, and what a packed show we've got for you tonight. Our guest, maybe two guests tonight, but we have to see whether they can make it through all the rain again that we're suffering. And what I've got for you is Gerry Sandon, a local lad, as they say, and who's done well. He's a professional singer, and he was in the band called the Envoys. But before we get on to Gerry, we'll see him a bit later. And this, I would like to say, is what Lanky Beat is all about.
Well, come on, pretty baby, let's move it and groove it. Well, shake her, baby, shake her, honey, please don't lose it all. That gets into your heart and soul. Let me tell you, baby, it's called rock and roll. This slave's gonna double, honey, please let's face it. They just don't know what's going to replace it. Well, ballads and calypsos that got nothing on. Real country music that just drives along. The hell I'm moving. oh baby, shake my baby, please don't lose it all. The rhythm that gets into your heart and soul. Let me tell you, baby, it's called rock and roll. Well, they say it's gonna double, honey, please let's face it. But they just don't know what you're going to replace it on. Yeah, ballads ain't the lips that got nothing on. Real country music that just drives along. Oh, hello, baby.
The mad drummer at the end there is me. That was a band called the Shims from the 60s. We played all the Lancashire venues and got around quite a lot. Here, there and everywhere, and that's something I'd like to talk to you about later. Lanky Beat, its boundaries, what is Lanky Beat, and whereabouts are these boundaries called Lankyland and Lancashire, and we'll go into that a little bit later on, and talk about that, how it all came together, and using the geographical boundaries that have always caused arguments for donkey's years, ever since they kind of made things into Greater Manchester and Merseyside and all that kind of thing. Anyway, we'll get back to that later, and we'll move it on a little bit. And I've got a lovely little track here that reminds me an awful lot of my very early youth. And around about 1962, a young guy called Joe Brown made a few tracks that are quite memorable, and the band who are playing this particular track tonight is still standing. They're on Lanky Cats shortly, and again, that's something else we'll be talking about later. We'll have a chat about what happens all about in Lanky Cats with live bands, just like this.
In the night there are sights to be seen, stars like jewels on the crown of a queen. But the only sight I want of you is that wonderful picture of you. On the streetcar or in the cafe, all of the evening and most of the day, my mind is in a maze, what can I do? I only had a picture of
Hospital Radio. Your music, your station. With hits of yesterday and today. Wrightington Hospital Radio.
Yes, that was Still Standing, and a picture of you by a cover of the old Joe Brown and the Brothers song. It's long lived with me ever since that heady early days. 50 years ago, Diane. I know, she's shaking her head because she's only a young girl, you see. She's only young, and we have to kind of excuse ourselves because we're a little bit older. I'm whispering that to you. Yeah. Anyway, they are shortly due to be returning to Lanky Cats, and they're on at the Standish Unity Club, where we run Lanky Cats every 2 weeks, and on October the 18th and Thursday night, 8 o'clock, for a good start and an even better finish at just after 11 o'clock. And we will have had on the night 4 bands playing, and you never know on the night. If someone turns up and he wants to, or she wants to have a little go and a little sing, or even a full band turned up one time, about 8:30, and said, "Can you put us on?" I said, "Of course we can, no problem." And we slotted in the extra band, and that is quite acceptable as far as I'm concerned, because if you roll up and rock on, that's what Lanky Cats is really all about. And we're looking forward to the run-up now to Christmas. We've just spent the last 3 months organising and worrying about, and I say worry because a lot of people got involved with the first anniversary, and we just got that under our belts, and what a cracking night we had, eh? Oh, down there. Diane does the sound down there for us, and I'll tell you what, she puts these, she lights everybody's face up, I'll tell you, because the lads on the stage, they can hear themselves, that's what they said. They can hear this. I can hear myself singing. I've never heard that before. Well, Diane did that. I don't know if she does it, but that's what she did. And she actually made a recording of it as well. We kind of took Wrightington Hospital Radio down there, recorded, and I've got some tracks actually live on Lanky Beat, the website at the moment. Lanky Beat, of course, you can access that, www.lanky, oh no, wait a minute, Lanky Beat. Now then, it's all one word, but don't forget, it's an Lanky BEAT, okay, LANKYBEAT, and that's lankybeat.com. And the other one, of course, is lankycats.com. Done in a similar way, LANKYKATS. So it's tricky, but you'll get there eventually, I'm sure. Okay, enough of that for a moment. And what I want to say to you now is a band from East Lancashire, the 60s Gems. I caught up with those people at an exhibition in Accrington not long ago, this summer. In fact, it was called Summer and the 60s. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that later. So here we go. These boots are made for walking.
Gonna walk all over you. You've been lying when you ought to be truthing, and you've been losing when you ought to not bet. You've been a saying when you ought to be a changing. Right is gonna walk all over you. You've been playing where you shouldn't been playing. You keep thinking that you'll never get burned. Well, I just bought me a brand new box of matches, yeah. And what he knows, you ain't had time to learn. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. Are you ready, Boots? Start walking!
Wonderful, eh? Classy. And that was the 60s Gems. Just let me give you the rundown of that band, and they were particularly impressive when I saw them live. And on keyboards is Craig Dawson, bass played by Michael Eastwood, drummer Michael Wilkinson, yeah, and the lead singer Natasha Harper. What a cracking voice! What a good singer she is, and to complete the lineup was guitarist Paul Atkinson. He's particularly impressive. He looks like Paul McCartney, dresses like Paul McCartney, and well, he's not got a Scouse accent. He's got an Accrington accent, but apart from that, he just lives for the 60s. And for such a young man and a young band, they are doing all the covers they can from the 60s, and that's why they were invited to perform at a recent exhibition in Accrington. It ran all summer, and it's a shame that I'm not here. I wasn't here last maybe May or June earlier this year, telling you all about it, because the exhibition was put on to display the 60s and the influence that it had in and around the East Lancashire area, and it featured obviously local bands, live music, features that included an amplifier used by George Harrison of the Beatles at Abbey Road Studios, and amongst many other things. That was a star exhibit, I can tell you. Loads of guitars, even a drum kit supplied by yours truly, my old Ludwig 1967 kit I put in there, and what we did, we made a fantastic display, and all credit to Bernie Fullerlove and Yvonne Robbins, who put the show together in the Haworth Art Gallery. That's right, on the outskirts of Accrington. And I'll tell you what, the gallery itself was an exhibition in itself. What a wonderful building, lovely setting. And its main feature, it houses, as well as other visiting exhibitions, Tiffany glass. Now, for those of you who are discerning, you'll know what Tiffany glass is all about, and it's the largest European collection. So it's definitely well worth the trip up there. But the show, should I say the exhibition, has now finished after a great success. They got 2,500 visitors across the few weeks that they did it, and they got loads of publicity. And one particular day, they hadn't been going more than a week, and a young lady walked in the door and said, my grandmother here wants to talk to you about something she has in mind. And he said, and this was Bernie telling me the story, that he was introduced to Davy Jones of the Monkees' sister. So she said, I've got loads of memorabilia in my house. Would you like to come and have a look at it? So down they went and selected virtually everything that she had there, memories of Davy Jones, and they popped that in the exhibition. Renamed the exhibition Summer and the 60s and the Davy Jones exhibition, and they put a load of nostalgic stuff in this room, And on the first showing, the place was absolutely heaving packed. And all credit to you, Yvonne and Bernie, for putting a great show on. Definitely well worth the visit. And the upshot was that in 4 years' time, less than 4 years' time, a world exhibition will be held in Accrington to commemorate the 70th birthday of Davy Jones. That's a little bit of a story for you. A bit long-winded, but that's the way it goes. And so, on with the music. An old Hank Williams song. Track 2, Hey Good Looking.
Broadcasting weekday evenings, Wrightington Hospital Radio.
When I get the blues, get me a rocking chair. When I get the blues, get me a rocking chair. One of these days, baby, I'm rocking away from here. When I get lonesome, I jump on the telephone. When I get lonesome, I jump on the telephone. I'm gonna tell my pretty baby to get herself back home. Woo! Flip, flop and fly, don't care if I die. Flip, flop and fly, don't care if I die. Don't ever leave me, don't ever say goodbye. Mississippi bullfrog sitting in a hollow stump. I like a Mississippi bullfrog sitting in a hollow stump. I got got so many women, I don't know which way to jump. I said flip, flop and fly, I don't care if I die. Woo! Flip, flop and fly, I don't care if I die. Don't ever leave me, don't ever say goodbye. On again. I jump on the telephone. When I get lonesome, I jump on my telephone. I'm gonna tell my little baby, get yourself back home, honey. Oh, I love flip, flop and fly. I don't care if I die. Flip, flop and fly. I don't care if I die. Don't ever leave me, don't ever say goodbye. Hey, that guitar man.
Shaking going on by the Dominoes. That was preceded by Shaking All Over by Wes Paul Band. Wes Paul and the Dominoes are regulars down at Lanky Cats, and that's the kind of wow live experience you're going to get if you fancy turning up there. Standish Unity Club, Cross Street, Standish, near Wigan, and we're there every other Thursday. We're there next Thursday, and usually do the first and third Thursdays in every month, and we're slowly kind of making our way towards Christmas now, and there'll be a special Christmas show that I'll be announcing very shortly. And what we'll do, meanwhile, before we meet our guest for the evening, Gerry Sandon, will be playing one or two more tracks for you. And before we do that, I'll say hello to Gerry. We'll talk to him a bit later. He braved his way through the floods and storms again of Lancashire and Standish, and we welcome you on board. Thank you very much for coming in, Gerry. We'll talk to you later, like I said. But just before we do, we'll play this next track.
Well, it's a one for the money, two for the show. Three to get ready now, go, cat, go. But don't you step on my blue suede shoes. You can do anything, lay off of my blue suede shoes. You can knock me down, step on my face, slam my name all over the place. Do anything that you want to do. Honey, lay off of my shoes and don't you step on my blue suede shoes. You can do anything, lay off of my blue suede shoes. Go get 'em. You can burn my house, steal my car, and drink my liquor from an old fruit jar. Do anything that you want to do. Honey, lay off of my shoes and don't you step on my blue suede shoes. You can do anything, lay off of my blue suede shoes. Well, it's a one for the money, two for the show. I'll be to get ready now, go, cat, go. And don't you step on my blue suede shoes. You can do anything, lay off of my blue suede shoes. Blue, blue, blue suede shoes, uh-huh. Blue, blue, blue suede shoes, uh-huh. Blue, blue, blue suede shoes, uh-huh. Blue, blue, blue suede shoes. You can do anything, lay off of my blue suede shoes.
Chimbo's revival there. Chimbo, another guest at Lanky Cats. Chimbo is from Copenhagen. He's actually from Denmark, and he has put together a lot of stuff in his time. And I'm looking at his album cover here, and it's I just feel that I'm looking at Bill Haley, because he's got the Kiss curl, he's got and of course he's got the voice, and he just loves rock and roll. And boy oh boy, what a live performance he put in at Lanky Cats recently. He's coming back next June on holiday and bringing his full band with him. So what a night that's going to be, and we'll tip you off as to what that particular date is. I'm sure it's around about June or July, something like that. But anyway, offhand, I can't just remember. But this by the Friends, who we met last week. Two of them last week. We met the guitarist called Mitch Mitchinson, and we met a singer called Mick Hannon, and they make up the Friends with several others, and this is their version of Mr. Moonlight.
Mr. Moonlight, you came to me one summer night, and from your beam you made my dream, and from the world you set my girl, and from above you sent us love, and now she's mine. I think you're fine, we love you, Mr. Moonlight, Mr. Moonlight, come again please. Here I am on my knees, begging if you please. On the night you don't come my way, I pray for each day, 'cause we love you, Mr. Moonlight. Mr. Moonlight, Mr. Moonlight, come again please. Here I am on my knees, begging if you please. On the night you don't come my way, I pray for each day, 'cause we love you, Mr. Moonlight, Mr. Moonlight, Mr. Moonlight, Mr. Moonlight.
Friends with a Z on the end. That's another one that it certainly takes me back. Covered just about by every band that ever recorded and did an LP at the time. I remember the Beatles did that one. John Lennon actually sang the cover on that one. That's before. I mean, when you think back at the Beatles, I mean, we're celebrating what? 50 years this week of, or last week of the release of Love Me Do, and it was a self-penned track by Lennon and McCartney. But when they brought their LPs out, the first LPs, up to and about Rubber Soul, Revolver, Beyond. I think Revolver was the first track, first LP, should I say, that had totally Beatles-written songs on it. Before that, they'd released 2 or 3 albums with a mixture of both, and a lot of people forget that's what they did. But so that's on a particular Beatles album that I can't remember, but I can't remember everything. But what I can remember is the guy that sat at the side of me.
Beatles for sale.
Beatles for sale. Diane is interrupting there, folks. Well interrupted. Beatles for sale. Is that what it was on? Fantastic. What a memory. How old are you? I can't work you out. 21, 28? Yeah, well, I'm not telling you my age, but anyway, we'll move on. Gerry Sandon. Listen to this.
If you would like to contact the station for any reason, feel free to use the phone line on 01257 252 435. Alternatively, you can use the internal number 6361 with the permission of the staff. Or finally, you can text us on 079 091 97345.
Saturday Night by the Duck Pond by Gerry Sandon. Gerry, welcome to the show.
Welcome, Bill. Hi. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Oh, lovely to see you.
Likewise.
Thanks for taking the invite up to come and see us.
No problem.
Gerry's a Lanky cat, like we all are here. We're getting a studio full of Lanky cats. Diane's a Lanky cat.
We all love it.
Cat.
We love it.
And we've just been joined by Alan Wilson, and he's the Lanky cat too. And he's going to tell us something a bit special about what he's doing at the moment with his band and reforming, I believe, and a venue at Lanky Cats. But first of all, Gerry, I want you to talk about that little track we just heard, Saturday Night at the Duck Pond. What was all that about?
Well, originally it was recorded by a band called the Cougars, who came from Bristol. It was originally by Tchaikovsky, a classical piece. The mums and dads loved it at the time. The band gave it a rock and roll beat and changed the title to Saturday Night at the Duck Pond. The kids loved it. Mums and dads hated it. That's probably why it wasn't a hit.
Right. Tchaikovsky.
Tchaikovsky.
Did I hear the word Tchaikovsky?
You certainly did.
What was it called? What did Tchaikovsky call that?
Swan Lake.
Swan Lake.
Swan Lake, yeah.
Well, I just thought I was just testing you. I knew it was
Swan
Swan Lake. I was just testing you. Right. It's fantastic. I mean, that is what you do so well. What kind of guitar have you got?
That one on the track you heard then was an original 1962 Fender Stratocaster.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it red?
It was red, yes.
Not an Hank Marvin style?
No, it was a later one. Hanky used a maple neck model. Mine was a rosewood neck model.
Oh,
I sold it.
The technical
I just
nerds.
had it. Oh, yeah.
We've got technical nerds in as well tonight.
We love it.
All this.
And a Vox AC30 amp.
And a Vox AC30. Can't believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, that particular track we were listening to as kids. I think that goes back, that track, to pre-60.
It does, yeah.
Just before
61, I thought.
Maybe 61.
61, I think.
Bringing into the and it's something that moved me greatly, that particular track. Because we were all familiar with the song itself. It's not a song; it's a classical piece.
Yeah.
Because we were all brought up on BBC Home Service.
That's right.
That's what it was called. Haunty BBC here. That was how the kind of thing went. And they played all this classical stuff. And all of a sudden, we were picking up records in the local record store in Debenhams in Wigan and places like
Fantastic.
that. And listening to the Cougars. And you copied that and did a really, really good job.
Thank you.
I know, fantastic. As well as play guitar, Gerry, you can sing as well.
Some say I can't.
Yeah. Well, let's have a listen to what he sounds like. Now, we've heard his guitar playing. Let's have a listen to what he sounds like when he's singing.
I'll never get over you. No, I'll never get over you. I just can't keep it a secret anymore. Oh, no, no. Well, it wasn't so long ago that you told me you loved me so. And then you went and said goodbye and found another guy. I know somewhere, someday, I will find one love to take her place, one girl with an angel face. But in the meantime, I'll never get over you. No, I'll never get over you. Well, I just can't keep it a secret anymore. Oh, no, no. Woo!
So there you go. Singing. How about dancing, Gerry?
Oh no.
You can play guitar.
I do the shadow step.
The shadow step, of
Instead of
course.
step,
yeah. In fact, I saw Gerry play. He plays at Lanky Cats, of course, with several bands, and but he plays solo, because Gerry is a professional singer and makes his living that way, and he's available solo for gigs, and if anybody wants to get in touch with me to book Gerry for the special do they might be having in the future, please get in touch with Lanky Beat. We can, and I'll put you in touch with them. Don't forget, Lanky Beat is www.lankybeat.com, and we'll put you in touch with Gerry. So, where did it all start, Gerry? Well, all this music, and where did it come from? And
Well, as you know, I'm not that old, but I'm into the 60s music.
Yeah.
My real era was the 1970s. I can always remember being at school and we had a power cut. And in those days, I used to like scrambling motorbikes, old field bikes.
yeah,
And we got sent home from school. So I called for my mate, who was also sent home because they had a power cut. He said, I'm staying in watching Cliff. I thought, why are you watching Cliff Richard for? So I went home and put the TV on, black and white in those days though. And the Young Ones was on. And that just changed my life. From the modern music of the 1970s, that's what I wanted to be, Hank Marvin.
Hank Marvin.
Watching the clip of them playing the Savage in the film The Young Ones. I needed a red guitar like Hank's, and that was it. Just changed my life.
Yeah.
That just changed my life.
That was the kind of the move that made it so different for you in life. It was a show-stopping occasion for you, and that's how you've been influenced by Cliff and the Shadows.
Correct.
And
beat music. Well,
yeah. And I remember seeing Cliff and the Shadows. In fact, the Shadows on their own, they split from Cliff for a while and did solo, didn't they, without Cliff?
They did.
I saw them at Wigan ABC in both instances, and latterly saw the Shadows in Preston at the Guildhall. Is it in Preston?
I've seen them there as well.
And and they, in fact, I would say they were better musicians than they were back then, and they were pretty good then. I just remember that Brian Bennett,
cracking
drummer.
Oh.
If ever there was a drummer that inspired me, that was him, Brian
name.
Bennett. If I could play like him, and I thought to myself, over the years I've got better. And when I went to the Guildhall and saw them, and the Shadows, I thought, I bet my skills are up to Brian Bennett's. Well, I can blow a whistle on that one. No chance. He did something I've never seen. He used rubber sticks on first part of his solo, because I knew he'd do a solo. They called it Little B and Big B. Little B and Big B. And he did this solo, and he did the first half with black, thick rubber sticks, and getting a sound I've never heard before or since. And then as he's going along doing the solo, he's picking up the wooden sticks and going into something I've never, quite extraordinary. But I'm going off the point, Gerry. It's you what it's all about at the moment. You're inspired by Cliff in the Shadows. So is this what your show consists of?
Just of that same era, really. Cliff Richard and Shadows, that year, from 1960 to 1968. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's as modern as you get, 1968, with the Monkeys.
Yeah, right. So it's a brilliant show. I can vouch for that. So I'm only the other week up at the Rivington Barn. What an old stomping ground that was for bands.
That was a fantastic gig.
Yeah, packed
out. Yeah,
absolutely packed out. And what time was it?
Was it half
past two in the afternoon?
2 afternoon, yeah.
That's what we did. I went and see
Rivington Barn.
It was fantastic. And so, what else have we got? What have you brought with us in terms of your favourite
5 CDs?
5 CDs. And what are we putting on next? Do you think?
You tell me. I think we'll go for Travelling Man.
Travelling Man.
Yeah, originally done by Ricky Nelson.
Yeah. And what kind of influence did Ricky Nelson have on you?
I sing. It was the B-side, because in those days when you bought records, you got 2 good sides for the price of one.
Yeah.
Sometimes the B-side was nicer than the A-side, and that Travelling Man is the B-side to Hello Mary Lou.
Hello Mary Lou. I know, of course, we all remember Mary Lou like it was like you said yesterday. It's still. These are the songs that are still being played live,
and they still sound
so often and still sound
fantastic.
so fresh.
Yeah.
And of course. Rick Nelson, what a name! One of the American influences.
Correct.
One of the major American influences that hit the British Isles well before Merseybeat.
The guy who played guitar with Rick Nelson was James Burton, who influenced Hank Marvin.
James Burton.
Yeah.
So it's all...
He was touring recently, and we have a band called Paul Hayes and the Collection, and Paul Hayes is a star on one of the antique shows, isn't he? Which is Cash in the Attic, and his band went and played with James Burton over at Perch Rock,
That's right.
which is of course in New Brighton, and that's only like last week or two, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah.
At the end of August, beginning September-ish, and that kind of thing. So here it is. This is Rick Nelson.
I'm a traveling man, I made a lot of stops all over the world, and in every port I own the heart of at least one lovely girl. I've a pretty senorita waiting for me down in old Mexico. So if you're ever in Alaska, stop and see my cute little Eskimo. Oh, my sweet Pauline down in Berlin town makes my heart start to yearn. And my China doll down in old Hong Kong waits for my return. Pretty Polynesian baby over the sea. Will I remember the night when we walked in the sands of Waikiki and I held you oh so tight? My sweet Pauline down in Berlin town makes my heart start to yearn. And my China doll down in old Hong Kong waits for my return. A pretty Polynesian baby over the sea. Will I remember the night when we walked in the sands of Waikiki and I held you oh so tight? Whoa, I'm a traveling man. Yeah, I'm a traveling man. Ooh, I'm a traveling man. Yeah, I'm a traveling man.
A travelling man. How pleasant is that? It's not a track that you would hear very often, but certainly if you're into Rick Nelson, and of course when you went out and bought a record in those days, it was on 45 vinyl, wasn't it? And you used to get the A side and the B side, not like what it is today. CD, you're lucky if you get one. You just get one side, don't you? And you can have. I've seen CDs with 32 tracks on. Can you top that? Anybody can top that? 32 tracks on a CD. That's what I think that's what I'm doing. But I think generally about 15 to 18 tracks, isn't there, on a CD? Or does it vary? Am I back when I only used to go? If I buy a track, I don't expect to get.
Sandon over Soul have something like 28 on.
Oh right, well, that's Diane sticking up with the 28. Any advance on 32? No. Anyway, what we will do after Gerry addresses the mobile phones that's going off in the studio here, which we're not worried about because he's just pointed out that he's done a very special CD for his daughter Donna, and they called it Variations, and he sings together with his daughter. And listen to this, I think it's quite wonderful.
I know I stand in line until you think you have the time to spend an evening with me. And if we go someplace to dance, I know that there's a chance you won't be leaving with me. Then afterwards we drop into a quiet little place and have a drink or two. And then I go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like I love you. I can see it in your eyes that you despise the same old lies you heard the night before. And though it's just a lie to you, for me it's true, it never seemed so right before. I practice every day to find some clever lines to say to make the meaning come true. But then I think I'll wait until the evening gets late and I'm alone with you. The time is right, your perfume fills my head, the stars get red and all the nights so blue. And then I go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like I love you. The time is right, your perfume fills my head, the stars get red and all the nights so blue. And then I go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Father and daughter.
Correct.
Yeah, tell us how that came about.
It was Donna's birthday. She's always been keen on singing, and I'd paid to have her a CD done, and did a spur track with the backing track with that, something stupid, and we did it as a duet, and that's what you've just heard.
Yeah, oh, fantastic. And there's a whole set of, there's 14 tracks here. Are they all by Donna?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Apart from that, something stupid.
Yeah.
Which I had to read while I was singing off a piece of paper, which was very difficult at the time.
You wouldn't mind us if we just had a listen to Donna on her
No problem.
Donna on her own.
Pick any track you want, really.
That's not her real name. It's Donna Eccles. And go on, Diane. I'll let you choose one of these tracks.
Yeah, let Diane choose.
Yeah. Have a look at that and see what you think, and have a listen to her. A very attractive looking package of a CD there, and
she likes modern music as well, Donna.
So we're choosing a track that Diana is going to play for us in a second, and
Track 6.
she's chosen track 6, which is called what, Diana?
A dream, little dream for me.
Did you hear that? Did you all hear that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right. I couldn't hear it because I've got the headphones on. But there you go. Here we go. Donna Eccles.
Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Dream a little dream of me. Say nighty-night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you miss me. While I'm alone and blue as can be. Dream a little dream of me. Stars fading, but I linger on, dear. Still craving your kiss. I'm longing to linger till dawn, dear. Just saying this. Sweet dreams till sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams that leave all worries far behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they be, dream a little dream of me. till sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams that leave all worries far behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they be, dream a little dream of me. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da. Ba-ba-ba, ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, la-da-da, la-da-da-da. Sweet dreams till sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams are once behind you. But in your dreams,
Live from the inner sanctums of Wrightington Hospital, playing the best of yesterday and today. Playing your music 24 hours a day. Across the wards of Wrightington and Wigan hospitals.
heat is on.
Playing the best of yesterday and today. Your very own hospital radio. Playing your music 24 hours a day. This is Wrightington Hospital Radio.
Shoot that poison arrow.
We've had a superb time just so far. What a good first hour we had of Lanky Beat, the show, the radio show. It's certainly taken off big style, and a lot of people are getting very interested. I got in touch with a few people this week and about coming on the show and talking about their life in Lancashire and the music throughout the last 30 or 40, 50 years, and that's what Lanky Beat is becoming all about. And but meanwhile, I've got some announcements to make. There are certain things that are happening, up and coming. We have a Trolls reunion. Julian and the Trolls. Anybody who went to the room at the top in the mid-60s will know all about that. And they are meeting up and reunioning on the 27th of October, Saturday night at the Wigan Cricket Club. Tickets are on sale. Again, contacting me through Lanky Beat, you've no problem, and I will get all the tickets for you. Or just roll up at the Cricket Club. It's just off Parsons Walk, and which was just around about the old grammar school as I remember it, but now I believe it's all part of the hospital complex that we have here at Wrightington and Wigan and down at the Royal Edward Albert and all that. So we've got things like that happening now in Wigan and in Garswood. That's between halfway, I reckon, halfway between Wigan and St Helens. We've got a band called Boomin' coming up, a special Christmas show on the 30th of November. And again, tickets are on sale, hot pot suppers and buffets and things like that. And if you get in touch with me about going to see a band called Boomin', and they're, I believe, a young band, and I shouldn't say that, young, old, young. We're not kind of ist about anything like that, are we? I mean, we don't do ageist things and things like that. But Boomin' are a superb band. I think, from what I've seen of them, they're destined for the top, and this is a place to go and catch them on their Christmas show. Meanwhile, back to Gerry Sandon.
Hello.
And you've been supplying us with some great stuff here, and some easy and pleasant listening.
Thank you.
What's the next bit you've got for us?
Well, this is a track off the EP, which you heard, Saturday Night in the Duck Pond, and I'll Never Get Over You. The first track, Pretty Blue Eyes, I think it was done by Craig Douglas and a guy called Steve Lawrence. Well, on this track, Donna, you just heard singing, she's doing backing vocals on it.
And the title of the song is...
Pretty Blue Eyes.
Yes.
Thought I was in love before, and when you moved in next door with your blue eyes, pretty blue eyes, all guys from the neighborhood keep saying you sure look good with your blue eyes, pretty blue eyes. Saw you from
Well, Gerry, thank you very much.
Thank you
for your contribution, and
Super.
I'm hoping you're going to stay a while and
Certainly am.
and join in with some of the chat.
Definitely.
I've thoroughly enjoyed the material you brought in tonight.
Thank you very much.
It blows me away what talent we've got here in Lankyland, and I'm often asked, Lanky Beat, where did that all come from? Where did Lancashire and all that, and what are the boundaries of you're talking about here, Lancashire? Where is Lancashire in terms of modern day government administration and local governments and things like that? And I said, well, we're not really drawing lines on maps. Lancashire, the old Lancashire, if you look at that, it extended right up to Barrow-in-Furness, which is kind of what you would call Cumbria now, or Cumberland as we used to call it. And over in East Lancashire, Blackburn, Burnley areas. On the west coast, of course, we've got Blackpool and Morecambe and places like that. And then you go down South Lancashire and you start to kind of edge on the River Mersey, which stretches not just from Liverpool, it starts in Liverpool, or should I say it finishes in Liverpool, that's a better way of describing it. It actually manifests itself round about the Manchester area and flows along through Warrington and places like that. And I think that's where the boundary lies in terms of geographical. But Lanky Beat, no, that doesn't. Even that doesn't exist in terms of. It's a concept. Is Lanky Beat? In other words, don't think in terms of lines on maps. Think in terms of the spirit of Lancashire. And if you're involved with the spirit of Lancashire, and know what the spirit of Lancashire is all about, you can call yourself a Lankylander, as I do. I'm a proud Wiganer myself. I'm a pie eater, as they say, where I come from. I come from Pie Town. That's the nickname of. And I've had my pies before I came out tonight. Diane, she knows my wife what I like. Pies and mushy peas on Thursday nights just before I come out and present Lanky Beat the programme. I've got Alan Wilson with me. Alan Wilson, welcome.
Thank you.
Alan's come here to tell us all about something extremely exciting. I'm absolutely made up for him. And the word made up came out of Liverpool as far as I'm concerned. And Alan, he lives kind of over that way, don't you, Alan? Whereabouts
No, I don't. No, I live in Goulburn, actually.
You live in Goulburn?
Goulburn.
Goulburn, all right.
I'm originally from St Helens.
Put you down at St Helens.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
St Helens, you're a Merseysider, you see.
Are you home of rugby league? So they go now.
Only rugby league. Oh, you can talk about rugby till you come out of your ears. I love my rugby too. Yet, so Alan, tell us all about why you're here. Okay, you've come to play some stuff and that. Hey, what were you doing? Kind of way back in the bands in St Helens and Goulburn, and tell us, bring us up to date with how it started for you and why it's so exciting. So exciting to be here now. Yeah. We've got plenty of time.
Good. Well, should we say it started back in the early 60s in St Helens when we were young lads, of course. In fact, I was only about 10. No. Thank you, Gerry. But we formed a band called the Sabres in St Helens in about 1961, something like that. And through progression, if you like, in those days we were doing all Cliff and the Shadows stuff, basically all Cliff and the Shadows stuff, because the Beatles hadn't really all who'd heard of them, they hadn't really come on the scene then.
Yeah.
And
pre-62, nobody outside
of Liverpool, had heard of them.
And Liverpool, Liverpool's in Lancashire, isn't it?
Yeah.
But outside.
But we got wind of them because we're living in St Helens and so close to Liverpool.
Yeah.
And we played in Liverpool, and it was only when they came to the Plaza Ballroom in St Helens, and that was prior to Love Me Do, because that was when Pete Best was with them, and we actually saw them in the Plaza. We weren't watching them
with Pete
Best. Yeah. I mean, my claim to fame was I was stood in the audience, and I was stood in the audience, and Paul McCartney nudged past me and he said, "Sorry, mate." I said, "Oh, that'll do."
That'll do you.
So I've never washed my shoulder since then, Yeah.
Well,
But,
yeah.
Yeah, it was good days. I mean, but even in those days, there was something magical about them.
Yeah, so Vince Reno then,
Right,
and
Vince
the Sabres.
Yeah, well, what happened?
Were you the Sabres first?
We were the Sabres first,
right.
but we had a succession of singers,
Yeah.
if you like. And
Did you make records as the Sabres?
No, nothing at all. There was nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing documented really or recorded because it was, I don't think we even did any tape recording.
And did you have a lead singer, like as in Cliff Richard and the Shadows and
Reno,
Marty Wilde?
Or otherwise known as Morris Tickle.
Morris Tickle?
Yeah, his real name, but because we wanted to sound more show business.
So his name became...
Vince Reno. Because
Vince Reno.
He liked.
Yeah.
He liked Gene Vincent, who was his idol.
Yeah.
So from Vincent, he shortened to Vince.
So his big hero was Gene Vincent. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So so from that then, this is 1960?
About 1960. No, about 1962 then.
Yeah.
Late 61, early 62. Yeah.
That's right. And you were the drummer, weren't you?
I was. Yeah.
A shed builder, just like me.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I built many a shed in my life.
I know.
Yeah.
And then. Take us through a little bit of progression, Alan.
Right, with the groups.
With the band, just very briefly.
Yeah, very briefly.
And then,
right, okay.
And then we'll play a track and come back to you.
Like I say, we were the Vince Reno and the Sabres, but we were having, if you like, a bit of trouble because there was a band in Liverpool called Denny Satan and the Sabres. And we were getting conflicted with those, and we were getting a bit of hate mail from their fans saying, you got to change your name. Because we were playing in the same venues, like the Cavern and places like that, and in and around Liverpool and St Helens and Wigan and what have you. And in the end we thought it's not worth it, we're going to change our name. So we changed it then to the Hammers. In the meantime we'd had personnel changes, where there was 5 of us. The Hammers then became 4, but Vince was still the singer, but we had another guitarist from Leigh, like called Gerry Blackman. Right. God rest his soul.
Yeah.
Prior to that, there was a lad called Pete Bond, who's with us now. We stayed with the Hammers for quite a long while, for a good few years, and then through a progression again, Morris left, the singer, and we brought in now the infamous Jimmy Billsbury, who was.
Jimmy Billsbury.
Jimmy Bills became mega in years to come.
He did. I'll tell you what. Hold on to that, Jimmy Billsbury. We'll come back to that later. Because I want to get some music fitted in now. Because we could talk this under the table, couldn't we?
Could,
Alan. There's no problem about it. But take us through this next track first of all.
Right.
What's going to happen?
Like I say, when we were the Hammers, we were lucky enough to just briefly. We were playing at the Garrick in Leigh. Roy Hastings, who was a composer, liked us, and he said, I want to do some demos with you, because we did original tracks that Jimmy wrote. And we had a guitarist then. Gerry had left, and we had a guitarist called Pete Shoesmith. And we went to Liverpool to a studio called Unicord, and we recorded a couple of tracks. We sent them off to London, or Roy did, and we got a reply saying, we like what we hear. We've got a record that we think you could do, and it's called Excuse Me Baby, but I need you to change your name, and we want you to change your name to the Magic Lanterns, which we didn't want at first.
Right.
And I'm glad we did.
You're glad we did?
Yeah.
The Magic Lanterns.
Almost didn't recognize you with all those fancy clothes and black shading on your eyes with your nose up in the air. You thought you had me fooled with all of that teased up hair, but don't try to act so cool, 'cause I know you anyway, yeah. Excuse me, baby, don't you remember me? You were full of ambition,
inner sanctums of Wrightington Hospital to the world. Well, to Wrightington and Wigan hospitals anyway. Playing more of your requests. This is Wrightington Hospital Radio.
If you would like to contact the station for any reason, feel free to use the phone line on 01257 252 435. Alternatively, you can use the internal number 6361 with the permission of the staff. Or finally, you can text us on 079 091 97345.
Alan Wilson, welcome again.
Thank you, Bill.
Back to it. And we're looking at Vince Reno and the Sabres, the Hammers, the Magic Lanterns.
Yeah.
And that was a track recorded under the name of the Magic Lanterns.
It was, yeah, the very first
imposed on you by the record company.
Yes.
Did they make that name up?
It was mainly the manager that we had at the time, because when we got the recording contract, we became under the management of a guy called Mike Collier, who worked for Campbell Connelly. It was a huge publishing company in Timpanelli in Denmark Street.
Right.
And he took us under his wing, and he decided that it was his brainchild. He wanted to have this band, and he had certain visions about it, with the old style music. I mean, in fairness, on stage we sounded nothing like that, because we were into a lot of soul stuff.
Yeah.
Wilson Pickett, Curtis Mayfield and the Impressions, Aretha Franklin, because of the singer, with the way he sang.
Yeah.
But as a lot of bands were in those days, you were given stuff to record, and it didn't represent any of what you.
It's an interesting thing that I don't think a lot of people realise that the live shows that these bands performed were nothing like the record when they went on record to be anything like the stage performance.
No.
What comes to mind is like bands like the Beat Boys, whose tremendous live shows. Most bands did have a tremendous live show, and then all of a sudden they get involved with a recording contract, and they're told what to do, what to wear, where to go, and they had to, because they were given money to do it.
That's right.
That's the idea, isn't it? I mean, but there was always something never quite right about those recordings.
No.
There was never a connection, hardly any of a connection between that live power that used to emanate from a live show on a record. And what one band comes to mind, amongst many, that managed that, and of course we all knew who it is, it's the Beatles, didn't they? Their live show transferred onto vinyl really easy, and then they started writing their own material. But when I think of she was just 17, you know what I mean, and you put that on stage and you listen to it on record, the same power was there, wasn't it?
Oh, definitely.
I know. It's a shame, really, that could not be captured. And I think I'm understanding and sympathising with what you say there.
I think a lot of bands of today's idiom, if you like, are different, because they do represent themselves. You know, I mean, they are what you hear on the record, and they are what you hear live.
Right.
I think that's more today, but years ago, in the past, you know, with the exception, of course, of what Gerry was saying before about Cliff and the Shadows. I mean, Cliff and the Shadows is what you saw, what you got. And that was it. Same on record, same live. Still today. You know, when you do.
I'll tell you what, when I remember seeing the Shadows, and they played live, and because I'd listened to their records so many times, I knew every note, I knew every beat, and where it should be. And they came on stage and played it live, and it wasn't the same. I was expecting that, you know, it's daft, I know what I'm saying. But he kind of did extra things, did Brian Bennett, on his drums, that he didn't do on the...
Hank does the same.
But what I'm alluding to and what I'm leading up to is that's live music. It's the excitement of live music, of being able to do that.
Variation.
And variation. And, of course, you're playing it to an audience, and you want audience reaction. And when an audience reacts, it lifts you. And then you lift, and then it lifts them, and so on and so forth. And you get this, this interaction going between yourself, which is the power of a live performance, isn't it?
That's right.
There is just quite nothing like it. And sometimes I've thought in the last few weeks about when I come down to presenting Lanky Beat as a show, we're not capturing that power as a live performance. But if you go to Lanky Cats, right, and go now next week, guess who you'll see, Alan? Who will we see next week at Lanky Cats?
Vince Reno and the Sabres, reformed after 50 years.
Wow. Oh, exciting is that?
We're all using Zimmer frames, but we'll be all right.
Are you playing the Zimmer frames, or are you getting up on stage?
We might do both.
Fantastic. It's fantastic news. I was delighted to get an email from Alan saying that we're reforming. And, you know, one of the guys doesn't even live in this country, does he?
He lives in Ontario, and he just landed the other day. He came over the other day.
And are you going to go on breaching that gap for 50 years when you've never played? What are you doing about it?
Rehearse very hard, which we have been doing.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you? You've been putting together. Have you got? Have you got the gear?
We've got the gear because we borrow it. We've been borrowing it from a band. I'll say thank you to Dr. Rocks from Lee, who Morris plays keyboards for.
Thank you, Dr. Rocks from Lee.
Thank you. They've been lending us their gear.
But I take it you've all got guitars. Have you still got your original drum kit?
No. Unfortunately, my Ludwig was sold years ago, much to my discontent. I know. Yes,
you didn't.
I did. I did. Yeah, and that was
I
the
know.
worst thing I ever did.
Yeah, kick my backside.
Yeah.
I know.
You should kick mine. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I've got my Ludwig. You know, you get me onto drum kits, and I really start getting nerdy.
Because people that don't understand don't understand drum kits. A Ludwig in those days was like the creme de la creme, if you like, and
it was the Rolls Royce.
Rolls Royce. I mean, it cost me an arm and a leg.
Absolutely.
You know, that's why I'm walking around on
one leg. Yeah. But were they worth it or what?
Absolutely.
What a drum kit! I mean, we're talking. This is the Ringo. The Beatles made the kit popular, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
I mean, he played, I think, a premiere before he joined the Beatles, and all of a sudden, he's playing this kit, and everybody was looking at, what is it? What is it? And we found out it was from America, and it was a thing called Ludwig, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you'll be playing on Lanky Cat's kit.
On the Mapex.
On the Mapex.
Yeah, it's a nice
kit. It's not a bad little
nice
kit,
that.
Yeah, not a bad kit. And of course, Diane will be miking it up and getting it all balanced out for you.
Yeah.
And that's what we do down at Lanky Cats, because we want bands to come down and play, and instead of lugging all that gear around and buying a van to lug it and traipsing up and down the motorway, costing hundreds of pounds in petrol and things like that, playing a gig till 4 o'clock on Sunday morning, and that's what we used to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lanky Cats, you just bring your guitar, pair of drumsticks, get up on that stage and do it.
Yeah.
And we give you about 30, 35, 40 minutes, something like that. And
we've got about 40 minutes.
And that's it. And then you go and get a few pints at the bar and listen to the other bands.
We'll be having a few pints before.
A few pints before, right, okay. So, that's fantastic news, and I mean, I'm just so thrilled. Can
I just interject 1 minute? Can I just advertise a gig?
Oh yeah.
Because what we're doing a warm-up gig.
Yeah.
This Sunday night. Which is the 14th, I think.
Yeah.
At the Musketeer in Lee.
The Musketeer in Lee.
In Lord Street.
In Lord Street, Lee. I take it that's town. Lord Street sounds like the town centre to me.
It is.
I'm not knowing Lee all that well.
It is a sound.
The Musketeer pub.
Yeah.
Live performance. Vince Reno
and
the Sabres. 50 years and still at it.
As long as we're still breathing with the original members.
With a big gap.
Yeah.
With Morris.
We've got Morris on vocals, Vince Reno.
Yeah.
We've got Pete Bond on lead guitar.
Yeah.
We've got Kenny Hoban on rhythm guitar, all the way from Canada.
Fantastic.
Ian Monker on bass guitar.
Fantastic.
And myself, Alan Wilson, on skins.
How about that then? The Musketeer. Get down there and get your
And if you must throw anything, make sure it's notes.
On. Sorry?
If you're going to throw anything, make sure it's notes.
Oh, it's notes.
Pound note.
No. They throw the pension books at me now. Oh. No, it used to be knickers, but now it's pension books. But you know, I don't mind. Do you? As long as they keep doing it.
Yeah, definitely.
Diane, next track, please.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your head, so I may climb the golden stair. I was born in a very bad area they call a shoe. Ma had 7 kids, she didn't know what to do. Early
let down your hair, so I may climb the golden stair. Rapunzel, darling, you're the only girl for me. Your name's not much, but your looks are something to see. With a name like yours and a name like mine, go together, oh so fine. For I'm a Rumpelstiltskin. That's my name, Rumpelstiltskin. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair, so I may climb the golden stair. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair, so I may climb the golden stair. Rapunzel, darling, you're the only girl for me. Your name's not much, but your looks are something to see. With a name like yours and a name like mine, go together, oh so fine. For I'm a Rumpelstiltskin. That's my name, Rumpelstiltskin. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair, so I may climb the golden stair. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair, so I may climb the golden stair. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey,
The Magic Lanterns, another track. How did that particular track come about?
Well, that was the-
Rumpelstiltskin?
I know,
I know,
it
come
was from
on.
the fairy tales,
Eh?
isn't it? Yeah,
Oh, right,
yeah.
right.
But it was, again, decided that we would veer away from the old honky-tonk piano clickety-click sound, and they wanted something different, and our management, or Mike Collier rather, came up with Rumpelstiltskin, and unfortunately it didn't do a lot. We promoted it on, I remember doing Saturday Club with it, going on Saturday Club, and quite a few other radio shows, but
Yeah, Saturday Club, was that? Who was
Brian
it?
Matthews.
Brian
He's
Matthews.
still with
He's
us.
still
He's
doing
still with
Saturday
us.
Club.
Well, it's the sound of the 60s.
Is that what he does?
It's
Sound
the
of
sound
the 60s.
Yeah, yeah,
What-
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
again, somebody we all grew up with.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
he's still
yeah,
there doing it.
yeah,
And so are we. That's,
Yeah.
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 fantastic.
Nice guy.
Yeah, yeah. So, and it's nice that you can recall having met
Yeah.
somebody like
I
Brian
can't remember
Matthews.
what I did yesterday,
Yeah.
but I can remember what I did 50 years.
Yeah. Now you mentioned before about the tracks that you were recording were quite unlike
Yes.
what you were doing on stage.
Yes.
And is there any particular track that you've brought with you tonight that maybe sounds more like you, if you like?
Yeah, I think there's one. It's a B-side of was it 19 Rusty?
Yeah.
19 Rusty Armour, which is another clickety-click sound, but it was one that Jimmy Bilsby wrote, and it's called Simple Things, and it was a bit more representative of what we sounded out live, because
Yeah.
we really into Curtis Mayfield and the Impressions,
Yeah.
and it was a very similar track to what they would have done,
Right.
and we put that as a B-side, and
Yeah.
it's also on the LP, Lit Up with the Magic Lanterns.
Yeah. Oh, I'm keen to listen to this, just
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get a contrast
Yeah,
between.
it's a hell of a contrast.
you
yeah.
know, your
'Cause it's basically just guitar, bass, drums, and vocals.
yeah between
That's it.
between the what you were recording
Yeah, that's
and
right,
what
yeah.
you felt you should be heard and sound like
Yeah,
in a live setting.
yeah.
Fantastic.
If you want the simple thing in life that I bring, mother is struck we will be, but I'll still be your king. If you want the simple thing
if you shut your eyes today, they'll all look better tomorrow. If you want the simple thing in life that I bring, poverty struck we will be, but I'll still be your king. If you want the simple thing, only I could offer. Don't pretend that you love me. Stop looking for another. I've had so much love, girl. My life depends on you. You have to keep on loving me and never be untrue. Simple things have ways of turning happiness to sorrow. But if you shut your eyes today, they'll all look better tomorrow. Simple things, simple
Okay, and soul, yeah, that's definitely much more of a soul connection, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And tell me, what year was this in terms of? I'm trying to get my head.
That was 66.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so soul was coming in
yeah,
because the era by mid '60s of kind of rock and pop was changing very much then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was getting soul-y and rhythm and bluesy, wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
And kind of deeper, more gritty sound.
That's
And
right.
of course, who were responsible for that were people like my sis think. Obviously, Rolling Stones were doing it. Can you know what were the others, Alan, that were doing that kind of thing?
The Spencer Davis group, for a
Exactly.
start. Yeah,
Exactly.
They were big exponents of it, if you like.
Yeah.
And you know, the more bluesy stuff.
Exactly.
But I mean, again, we were listening to the likes of Stevie Wonder,
Yeah.
Otis Redding, Aretha Franklin, Wilson Pickett.
Yeah.
You know, and the Stax sound, Booker T and the MGs. You know, and all these guys. You know,
Yeah.
and it had a big influence on them because our live show. We used to, like I say, we a lot of the time we did continuous. We never stopped playing. We just kept going all the time. To more of a party atmosphere, if we could, you know.
Oh, it absolutely sounds great that what you were doing, and it taking us on to the later '60s. I mean, you're going through your progression of bands early on.
Yeah.
What kind of happened then later on with you as the Magic Lanterns? You'd made quite a few tracks, put quite a few tracks down, and then where did you move? Kind of getting towards the '70s now.
No, well, I finished in late '68. I think it was either late '68, early '69.
Yeah.
By that time, we'd recorded Shame Shame,
Yeah.
which was massive in America for us. It got to number 14.
Number 14 in America.
In America, did
Fantastic.
nothing over here, but and like I say, we got number 14 in America, and we thought that we would have, you know, done well with it.
Yeah.
But there was conflict within the band, and I left in about, like I say, late '68, early '69. Shortly afterwards, Pete Shoesmith, who was the guitarist, he left. Prior to that, though, I mean, I digress, as they say. Ian Monker had left as a bass player, and we brought in Mike Ozzy Osbourne, and Ozzy Osbourne, not the Ozzy Osbourne, but Mike Osbourne.
Yeah, Mike Osbourne.
Mike Osbourne was the bass player, and he was a bass player on Shame Shame.
Yeah.
And you know, the band progressed, and it did carry on for quite a while, but not that long. That sounds a bit, you know. I think they actually finished playing in about 1970.
Yeah.
Something like that. They broke up in Hamburg,
Right.
The way things were. But Jimmy stayed in Hamburg.
Yeah,
and that's another story.
Yeah, another story.
Yeah, yeah.
Can we talk about that other story now? Or
Yeah.
Shall we play the
Whatever
next
you
track
like.
first?
No, play the Shame Shame, I think. Cause that's,
Well, let's listen to Shame
Yeah.
Shame.
Was the game. Fool was my name. I thought you'd go wrong from right, but you ran to his arms tonight. Shame, shame.
Since I heard that record, and of course back then I didn't know Alan Wilson here or Jimmy Billsborough, who's the lead singer. I didn't know you guys, because we came along, I think, a touch later, 1964, when we kind of started to kind of get a band together. So you guys were doing all this well before us, and Jimmy came along and joined the band.
Yeah,
he was a songwriter.
Yeah,
you took that number to number 14 in the United States.
Did, yeah.
Did you kind of get any kind of invite to go to the States?
There was on about if it actually reached the top 10, we were going to go over.
Yeah,
and it never did.
No,
so it just fell through. Sadly.
So, I was thinking of what the Americans call the British invasion.
Yeah, yeah.
Which of course was spearheaded by that one and only band again, the Beatles, and then everybody else followed on.
Yeah.
Would it be about that same time, or
no? This is late, because that would be 1960. That would be 68.
68.
And by that time, the Beatles were just about.
And put in
just a studio band then, weren't they? Really?
I know. And so now, Billy, tell us about. Should I say Jimmy? Jimmy, not Billy. What am I talking about? Jimmy Billsborough. Tell me about him, because his voice is superb, and I believe an exceedingly talented bloke.
He was, he's a good songwriter, and he was very charismatic on stage. A really good frontman,
yeah.
And when the band finally broke up, which was in Hamburg, I think it was about 1970. They did actually keep on recording under the name of the Magic Lanterns, but as a studio Jimmy Billsbury,
Yeah.
together with other people, and one of the guys he recorded was Albert Hammond, who did It Never Rains in Southern California and that, and the producer was a guy called Steve Rowland, who was also in a band called Family Dog. Made record, I don't know if you remember, years ago.
Beyond my ken.
Yeah, no, they had hit
on.
records.
I know.
But Steve is an American, and they took Jimmy under the wing, if you like, and he recorded. But while he was in Hamburg, he formed a group with another lad called Les Humphreys. They got together and decided to form this big group, not instrumental group, but a choral group, and they became the Les Humphreys Singers.
And Jimmy was part of this.
And Jimmy was a main vocalist in the Les. He was the main one.
Yeah, it was boys and girls, and it was very chorus, like you said.
Yeah.
A choral
effect. In fact, a lot of them at one time, there were so many of them at one time that a lot of them didn't even sing; they just danced.
Right.
And although this was what I've read about and been told, but and one of the girls that was in them later became. She was Marcia Barrett, went into Boney M.
Right.
Yeah, she was in the Les Humphreys Singers.
The Les Humphreys Singers. And this was all happening where, in Germany?
In Germany, yeah. And eventually they became huge.
Yeah.
And I mean huge. They represented Germany twice in the Eurovision.
Did they?
Yeah.
Right. And was Jimmy in that?
Jimmy was on that, yeah. He's on YouTube Eurovision. And everything.
So he would hit the super heights.
Yes, he did.
Without kind of, God bless him now, not becoming a household name in this country or in America. And yet he's the record that we just listened to, Shame, got to number 14.
Yeah.
It is a really good record, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
it is. Yeah.
That's magic, that. I mean, it's fantastic stories that we've got here. And what are we going to conclude with, Alan, in terms of the next track?
Well, I think we'll finish with a Jimmy Billsbury number, "Country Woman," which I think shows his voice off and one thing and another, the way he was. Yeah. And this was on the album Shame Shame. It was on an album called Shame Shame.
Do you think, God bless him, like I said, if he was alive today, he'd be going to playing at Lanky Cats next week?
I'm sure we could reform the Lanterns. I'm sure he would be doing that. Definitely, yeah.
I know.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway,
this
is Jimmy Billsbury, country gentleman.
Woman.
Country
woman.
Country woman.
broadcasting weekday evenings, Wrightington Hospital Radio.
Live from the inner sanctums of Wrightington Hospital, playing the best of yesterday and today. Playing your music 24 hours a day. Across the wards of Wrightington and Wigan hospitals.
Heat is on.
Playing the best of yesterday and today. Your very own hospital radio. Playing your music 24 hours a day. This is Wrightington Hospital Radio.
Shoot that voice in our row.
Alan, for that lovely insight.
You're welcome.
And, we're coming to the end of the show now, and Gerry, you're still here, listening
still here,
patiently.
yeah. Very
Have you
interesting.
enjoyed yourselves?
It's been fantastic.
It has, Gerry, yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
enjoyed that? And
I love it.
And of course, we've got Graham over here who popped in just to see and keep an eye on us and to see we're doing everything as we should do, and behaving ourselves. And thank you for popping in. And we'll be seeing Graham shortly within the next few weeks when he comes on the show and tells us all about his rock and roll life. And my closing of the show, which is always very sad, but there we go. That's what it's, I suppose, all about. I've just got a track here that I picked up. It does a lot of crackle, and it's an old 45. He pulled it out of his loft, did my cousin Dennis, and we were in a band together, and they were called Tinfoil, and they were the kind of the name that they chose when I left the band. We were the Shims. I left the band and they changed the name to Tinfoil, and they went into the recording studio and they did this.
Little things you say and do makes me want to feel it. Yeah, I do. Rave on, it's a crazy feeling. I know it's got me reeling when you say I love you. Rave on. The way you dance and hold me tight, the way you kiss and say goodnight. Rave on, it's a crazy feeling. I know it's got me reeling when you say I love you. Rave on, it's a crazy feeling. I know it's got me reeling. I'm so glad that you're relieving your love for me. Rave on and tell me not to be lonely. Tell me you're loving me lonely. Rave on. Rave on, it's a crazy feeling, and I know it's got me reeling. I'm so glad that you're relieving your love for me. Rave on, and tell me not to be lonely. Tell me you're loving me lonely. Rave on to me.
Rave On by Tinfoil. Alan Turner, lead singer, my mate, in fact, and big pals. And Alan will be coming on the show shortly, and certainly well before Christmas. And we'll go and be looking forward to Alan coming along and talking about the Shims and Tinfoil and lots of other things that affected us at the time and brought a lot of joy into our lives. I hope we brought a little bit of joy into your life tonight. Lanky Beat, we are brought to you by Wrightington Hospital Radio. We're produced by the lovely Diane Herring and my guests, Gerry Sandon, Alan Wilson and Graham. Thank you very much for coming in. Natalie Ball next, the Thursday night show. A bit of this, a bit of that, a mix of this and a mix of that. 8 till 10. And so from me, Bill Hart, a very good night.
today. Your station, your music, 24 hours a day. Best of yesterday and today. This is your station, Wrightington Hospital Radio.
If you would like to contact the station for any reason, feel free to use the phone line on 01257 252 435. Alternatively, you can use the internal number 6361 with the permission of the staff. Or finally, you can text us on 079 091 97345.
Lanky Beat putting the English Red Rose County of Lancashire on the world's rock and roll map. Yeah, Lanky Cats rock and roll forever. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second of our shows. It's great to have you again on board. And